Hub viewers, and welcome back. Join the excitement for the build-up as this Rugby World Cup is almost going to get underway. Gabsy, we're just around the corner with a few warm-up matches to go. How are you today?
Hi, Gori. Lovely to see you. You're super excited. On that note, guys, we have another Super Brew pool out for the Rugby World Cup. Please check the link below and feel free to join. We're going to have a lovely prize there for the winner. And we'll also post it on Instagram, of course.
Gabsy, we're no longer at Fox Sports Studios. We've been kicked out. Stacey was not happy with our analysis, unfortunately. However, it is good to be sort of on the road a little bit. So we're going to be heading to France pretty soon. But before that, Gabriel, Springboks playing Wales in a warm-up match this weekend. Now, Jock Ninoba has come out and said that he will most likely go with his strongest side for the remaining two warm-up matches, which would be Wales and New Zealand, and only make a few minor changes. Now, that begs the question that I'm going to ask you straight up out of the gates. Is this the strongest Bok 23 that we would see at the World Cup as possibly our A team?
Yo, Goran, I honestly think so. Obviously, there's a couple of big names missing for me personally. With the likes of Ebenezer, of course, I could imagine he's just being rested, and hopefully we see him next weekend against the All Blacks. And then also, obviously, Faf de Klerk is another big name you would imagine to be in the mix. Couple of other mentions, probably, I would imagine a guy like Kwagga Smith still probably being very much, obviously in contention to maybe get a starting jersey if he plays well. I would imagine him to also play next week against the All Blacks. But let's dig a bit into the team that he selected, Gori. Let's first quickly go through the forwards. I mean, the likes of Kitshoff, Malcolm Marx, Frans Malherbe starting. Do you reckon that is our strongest front row?
At this stage, yes, I would reckon that's our strongest front row. I think both both Malcolm Marx and Kitshoff are also a threat over the ball, which is a major asset to the Boks, especially on their defensive system. Just to gain a little bit more time in setting up, slowing that ball down at the break point, and then giving the rest of our defensive setup enough time to get themselves ready and perform that rush defense that we've used so effectively in the past. So without Duane Vermeulen starting, those two players will be extremely key in the first, let's say, 40, 50, 60 minutes of the game. And then obviously, Gabsy, you've touched on Ebenezer not being included. Like you mentioned, probably getting a rest. We imagine to see him out against New Zealand in another week's time. Jean Klein moves in there at 4. He's going to be accompanied by RG Snyman. Those two are the locking duo for Munster. They now get the opportunity at international stage. Now, what do you think of that combination?
Yeah, no, I think super exciting to see them feature together in the green and gold. Obviously, URC champions, Munster. But yeah, I would imagine, I mean, for me personally, I guess RG Snyman, obviously, he's played that bomb squad role coming off the bench.
To great effect.
Exactly, to great effect, closing out games. But now, in the absence of Louis de Jager, obviously, they need to give him some game time. He needs to start, needs to see how he's going to perform, calling the lineouts, etc. And I guess John Klein is just really getting game time. Should anything happen to Eben, you need to be sure that Klein can step in there. Obviously, we still have the likes of Marvin Ori as well that can also play 5. But I'm very excited to see both of them. I think it's going to be a great test for them this weekend against Wales.
Yeah. Well,
And
look,
then,
the Welsh lineout last week didn't look to flash. I think the Welsh struggled a little bit with regards to that set piece. So let's see if the Springboks will start contending the opposition lineouts, which we haven't seen them do this season thus far. They've prepared for the maul defense in the past test matches that we've seen. So maybe we see something there from RG Snyman.
No, for sure, for sure. I'm very excited about that. But Gori, huge talking point, probably the headline, Captain Courageous, Siya Kolisi, back straight into the starting lineup. What do you make of that?
Well, it's an absolute disgrace that we haven't opened the podcast with the great news, the miraculous comeback of our captain Siya Kolisi. I mean, how good is it to have him back? Honestly, when he got injured a few months back, it did not look like he was going to make the World Cup. He is there now. Hopefully we see a few minutes given to him, but not a full 80. I think we should manage his playing time now and not get too excited about him running
100%.
on. But that leadership will be
the
amazing.
leadership, the energy, the energy that he brings to the team is just phenomenal. I mean, but yeah, you say hopefully we see a few minutes. I mean, he's starting the game, so I would hope to at least see 1/2 out of him. We have the likes, obviously, as Van Staden on the bench. And then go on another player that I think he needs a big performance is obviously Jasper Wiese. I mean, he's getting another go at 8. For me, I want to ask you, do you reckon at this stage, is it still 50-50 between Duane Vermeulen and Jasper Wiese? What do you reckon is kind of the situation there?
Well, with Duane Vermeulen coming back and also coming back with a lot to say. I mean, he's really running the door down when it comes to that number 8 position. But for this game against Wales, this is Jasper's bread and butter. He's going to love running at people, and I'm going to love watching him do that. And I really think like he plays obviously his rugby in the English Premiership, in the Premiership, so he knows like these type of conditions. So I think he's going to have a big game, but obviously he'll be aware that the incumbent number 8, which is Duane Vermeulen, will be right behind him. And then following that, Gabriel, we see the likes of Jaden Hendrikse getting his first game of the season, got 0 minutes straight into that box setup, among the 3 other scrum halves that have been chosen, and he's now going to be accompanied with Manie Libbok in that pivot role. So good to see him back, and Williams on the bench.
I mean, very excited to see him back. Obviously, Jock Nienaber has made it clear, respectively, he's missed a couple of games due to some private family reasons, and I'm really excited he's back. He has shown what he can do against the All Blacks last year when he had to step up. So I'm really excited to have him back. I think he's going to definitely be, a great competition for the other scrum offs. I think, if he finds his groove again, definitely would expect him to see feature in the World Cup in a couple of games. Obviously, with 4 scrum offs, you don't really know at this stage who's going to be, putting on that 9 jersey. We would assume it's Faf, but nothing is guaranteed with 4 scrum offs. So very excited to have him back. Still fighting it out, and excited to see him and Manie partner up. But having said that, we move over to also a new combination. First time we see Cheslin Kolbe and Canan Moodie playing together. What do you make of that one, Canan Moodie? Do you think Canan Moodie is kind of playing himself into this team, playing himself into a starting 8 team?
That's a great question. I think Mapimpi's position is a little bit threatened at this stage. We see different combinations being tried at the back there. We saw Canan Moodie come in, tried with Kurtley Arends. Now we see Cheslin and Moodie. I think Moodie had obviously a phenomenal performance against Argentina, which actually played him into the squad. And now we see Cheslin Kolbe putting on that 11 shirts. I don't think I've seen him put on the 11 shirt yet. He's usually on the right wing side, but they have that experience of Willie Leroux at the back. How many caps does he have? 86 or something like that. I think without him there, you won't have that stability to try out a Canan Moodie at this stage. So having that there, and then the other point is in that midfield, we've gone with the likes of the counter-rucking king, or the rucking king and ball carrier that is Damian de Allende. I think we expect another huge game from him, because speaking about running the door down for that position is the big Andre the Giant, who's looking to make that 12 shirt his own. And then we see, obviously, without Lucanio, Jesse Kriel, who also has 60 plus caps with Damian de Allende. So I mean, that's a very experienced midfield. I think we shouldn't be too worried about that.
Very experienced duo. Very excited to see all of them in action. And I would say, both these centers also needs a big shift, because obviously Andre is, like you said, running the door down. Let's quickly take a quick look at the bench. I mean, 6-2 split. I'm wondering if this is not maybe like a new bomb squad, because I mean, with this bench, you have the likes of obviously players such as Dwayne Vermeulen, you've got Franco Mostert, you've got Bongi Mbonambi, who captained the Boks against the last game in Argentina.
And had
Those
a
are
good
huge
game.
names.
Yeah.
And then you obviously
Mm.
have also the likes of Damien Willems and Grant covering the backs. Basically, between the two of them, they can cover the entire back line.
Yeah.
Are you concerned? Do you think this 6-2 will be the strategy moving forward, or do you think it's just a strategy for this game?
Well, I think that's how Jacques Nienaber, why he selected so many utility players, and he's really been like, yeah, he's been very adamant about picking utility players. Gaza, Damon Willems, being able to cover 10, 12, 15. Grant Williams can cover wing and scrum off. Guys like Dion Fourie can cover, the hooking position as well as back row position. So same with Franco Mostert, and that gives you the ability to go with a 6-2 split. And it depends on which games we're going to use this strategy and which games we're going to go with the 5-3. So yeah, interesting choice. Maybe our listeners can react to that in the comments.
For Wales, obviously they've also selected, quite a balanced team in terms of inexperience and experience. Quite inexperienced up front, I would say. I mean, the captain, Jack Morgan, only got 10 caps for Wales. But then in the back line, you have the likes of Dan Bigger with 109 caps. And yeah,
Yes,
Liam
yeah.
Williams, 85 caps.
Yeah.
So, I would say it's a fairly
some
balanced
stability.
team. Exactly. For them also, this would definitely be kind of a huge game for all these young guys to show they're ready to play a World Cup. And you would say they really need a bit of momentum before this World Cup. So I won't write them off. I think it's going to be a huge game on Saturday, away game for the Springboks. Very excited, guys. Please let us know what you think will happen this weekend. Drop a comment below.
Maybe we see some Warren ball from him. Seeing that those props don't have a lot of experience, they're going up against the beasts and obviously also in midfield. But let's see, guys. Yeah, let us know. It'll be great.
Just a very big thank you, guys, for all the supporters, in particular the last episode. For us to get 22,000 views, that's just out of this world. Thank you so much for all the support. Drop us your comments and thoughts, and then check out the Super Brew pool. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gweri.
Yes, guys.